Many snowmobilers use trailers to haul their sleds around, but the riders out in the mountains, they prefer to use sled decks.
Well, first of all, they're much easier to maneuver. You can either have one or two sleds on the deck. And when you're going in tight roads, sometimes it's easier to not have a trailer to corner. You don't have to take your turns much wider. And especially for parking, when we go up the mountain roads to get to the nice parking lot areas to unload, sometimes you don't have enough room to turn around. So it's much more convenient to have a sled deck on the top of your truck. Because we tend to start driving up the mountain with our trucks as far as we can get. For example, in Quebec, we go up logging roads. So obviously there's not a lot of room to turn around, and even when you meet another truck or whatever, most of the time you have to pull into the snowbank. And out here, out west, it's the same thing. Most of the parking lots are up high. For example, in Whistler and Pemberton, you'll do about a mile and a half just to get to the parking lot before you even unload your sleds. And most of the times those roads are really bumpy. And when they're really snowed in, sometimes trailers won't even make it halfway up. And then backing out is a real issue if you have a trailer, for sure. Sleds nowadays are really light, so you can hardly tell or notice it when you're driving. Of course, it's a little more top heavy. For example, my truck's lifted, so that doesn't help the problem. But most of the time, you hardly feel the sleds are there. The weight gives you a lot more traction when you're going up steep slopes on icy hills or a lot of snow. So it actually helps out for traction a lot. It's really easy. Most of them store the ramp underneath the deck. So you just pull the ramp out, you hook it up, and you can have different, depending how high your truck is, you'll have different length ramps. You can have 8-foot, 10-foot, 12-foot ramps. And basically that just adjusts your angle to get onto the back of the truck. Obviously you want to have the longest ramp possible to make the angle much easier to load. Second, you kind of have to get a run at it just to get your track on the ramp. But once you're on it, most of the guys tend to keep on the throttle. I usually stop on the ramp just so I can set myself up, and I just slowly bring her up to make sure you don't put the skis through the back window. Despite the fact that there's a headache rack, there's a million videos on YouTube of guys not being able to load their sled on the decks. So it's usually guys who tend to go too fast or on a slippery slope and the ramp isn't really set up right. So it's just, you take your time, you do it right, and obviously safety first.